Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Bird Attack Punk Rock Radio. We've got the one and only Steve Rawles from Belvedere. What's up, Steve?
Hey, what's going on, Garrett?
How you doing, brother?
Oh, good. Cold. You know what it's like here.
Yeah, I do, man. I went up to Edmonton, a few months ago, I guess, and it was the coldest weather that I've ever felt in my life. I think you said it was like Siberia. But Calgary wasn't too bad.
No, Calgary's nice. Actually, right now it's probably about 35 Fahrenheit. So, it's not nearly as bad as when you were here and we were minus 40 or whatever it was.
Dude, it was crazy. It was literally the coldest weather I'd ever felt. Well, you got dropped off in a cab and then you walked over to to the venue. By the time you got in, your thighs were cold. It freezes before it comes.
What's funny too is that I've lived here my whole life and that was cold for me too. So yeah, I don't blame you for being cold.
Yeah, it was super cold. Well, man, I really appreciate you calling in today. For those of you guys who don't know Steve, he is the lead singer in Belvedere, and also this is a standoff. So I'm sure a bunch of our listeners know we always play pretty much high-paced, melodic style punk rock, Steve. And you have a lot of fans out there right now listening. So, man, I really appreciate you calling in.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the boys from Counterpunch told me to tell you hello.
Right on.
So I'll let them know. Those guys are pretty ripping from Chicago.
Oh, yeah, those guys are great. We played with them at Grows Rock out in Belgium there last year. And, yeah, they're from Chicago and Detroit area, I think, one of them. So they know the kind of weather that we deal with up here.
Oh yeah, they're almost as cold as you guys get.
Yeah,
They're almost cold, but yeah, man. So what's going on? Tell everybody what's going on with Belvedere and the reunion. I was actually lucky enough to see you guys in the first time you played back in North America, and then I heard you guys were playing with Pulley, and I had to come up and see you over on the other side of Canada. So what's going on with Belvedere these days?
Well, I think we've kind of exhausted the reunion thing. I guess we're back together again, and
excellent.
Still trying to play some shows every once in a while. It's kind of hard to juggle with all our kids and jobs and everything. But yeah, it's been a pretty cool year. We always kind of said that when we split up, we thought that was sort of it. So we were more than stoked when we came back, and it seemed like things had gotten bigger over the 8 years that we were gone, and we got to go to some pretty cool festivals in Europe and South America and played some great shows, and I guess it's going to continue this year with some stuff in Europe and in Brazil again.
Yeah, that's right. What's the name of that fest down in Brazil? What's it in August? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that's the Resurrection Festival.
Dude, that's going to be a good one. That's another reason for me to go down to Brazil to watch that that show. It's going to be killer. You got Pulley?
Yeah, that one's in Spain. That's right on the coast in North Spain. That'll be a good one.
That's right.
You gotta make it to that one.
Well, that's the one I'm trying to make it to. But when's the one in the Brazil one? That it's less than Jake.
That one's in October.
Okay, a little bit past.
Yeah.
Just
it's like a month after that Europe tour, 2 months after that Europe tour. Yeah, that'll be good. Less than Jake, fully strung out, hot water music. Can't go wrong.
No, not at all.
Brazil.
No, yeah. How can you go wrong down there? I've never been, but I just know it's. Come on, you see the photos, and there's a lot of surf down there too. I don't know if I told you this, but I surf a lot, so Brazil is kind of a mecca for surfing too. So yeah,
it's kind of a bummer because the couple times I've been down to Brazil the last few years, it's been great, but it's always venue, airport, venue. We had my wife and we went to Iguazu Falls out in the middle of the rainforest the first time we went down there, and that was mind-blowing. So it's a pretty awesome country. I can't wait to go back.
That it's killer that you have been able to travel all over the world and kind of just go chase your passion and be stoked and playing music, and people are so amped on it, and at the same time you're just kind of carte blanche wherever you go and meet new people, and it sounds like a really, really killer time.
Yeah, it's been a long time of playing shows, but it's I don't know. I never take it for granted. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's killer. So you've probably been asked this a bunch, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. You can say I don't know or no or yes, but are we going to hear more from Belvedere and some new tunes? Another album maybe, EPs, anything or? What
Yeah,
are the
I'm gonna say a tentative yes, but I don't know if it's gonna be a full album or not.
right?
I mean, we all want to, and we kind of are, but it's going slow. You know, you can imagine it's not really like a full-time band anymore. You know,
Right.
it takes us months to even go have a beer with each other sometimes. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like, you know, trying to jam and write stuff. We're doing it separately. I'm sure something will come up. You know, even if it's like a 7-inch.
Right.
Or something cool. But, you know, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a good 10 years since we've recorded something. And I know I'm personally excited to. We can get it together. But, you know, I'm sure it might be later than sooner. But why not, you know?
Why wouldn't you? And, dude, it depends. I mean, I guess the way I kind of see it from an outsider standpoint is you've got, you know, everybody kind of, unless you're really making it and touring hard, you got to have a regular job. And then there's only so much time to take away from that regular job to put that time and energy to do a quality album, which really, I mean, is going to take a month or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, we spent, you know, 10 or so years always going to deadlines. Like, you know, it was like, oh, we've been touring for 2 years, we got to put out a record. And now it's just kind of like, I mean, there's no deadline, which is probably, you know, another reason why this is taking a while. But, you know, we don't really need to deal with labels or, you know, not have to worry about budgets because it's like recording is so cheap now anyways. Like if you kind of sort of know what you're doing. So, I mean, we're just going to go in there and, you know, hopefully in the next little while and put something together. And I don't know. I mean, our band's always been about like our fans and we are where we are because of our fans. And, you know, we'll get something going.
Nice. Dude, I've got a bunch of questions, and whenever you got to go, just, you know, go ahead and give me a ding ding, cut me off. But
oh yeah, I'm just walking right now, man. I got all the time in the world.
oh, perfect. I can hear you sniffling a little bit, so you can get got the cold.
Cold here. I tell you.
Well, here's the opposite side of the spectrum. I'm sniffling because it's hot and there's pollen, and it's not supposed to be warm right now.
It's not pollen.
It is pollen. It's seriously. We didn't have a winter down here. We had like 2 cold days, and so the plants or whatever. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of an off season right now for the winter.
That's kind of like our winter. That's kind of like our winter last year. It was the same kind of deal. Like, well, a warm winter to us was probably different than a warm winter to you, but we didn't have a lot of snow last year. But this is a little more normal. So
nice. Well, hey, any bump up from what I experienced last time it's a good thing. So listen, you guys, you guys are big in Canada, and I know in Europe, dude. These guys are like, dude, they're all. I mean, the European bands, they did a tribute CD to Belvedere, and you're huge in U.S. too. But why don't we see you guys more? You know, why don't we see you down here more often? Or why didn't I really back when you guys were really getting it, like early 2000s? Is there any reason in particular for that?
yeah, well, there's a couple of reasons. It mostly has nothing to do with. I mean, the biggest thing is that we actually did tour the U.S. exclusively for, I don't know, probably like 90, 97, 98. So about 2001, that's all we did was U.S. touring.
Well, I'm dumb then.
And
I'm dumb, sorry.
It's cool. You know, I think we only got to Florida twice, but we used to do a lot of California stuff. We have a label there, Jumpstart Records in Pennsylvania, and so we would go across Canada and do stuff in northeastern states. But I think we only got to Florida once or twice. But the big reason now is because we can't really go on long tours. We can only really go like, you know, I would say a week tops. So we're breaking it by going to Europe for 2 weeks. That's kind of a special thing. Usually it's like we can only kind of do the long weekend thing. And, you know, I know if you've talked to any foreign bands, you can't get into the States anymore as a band without a work permit.
Right.
And it's freaking expensive. And it just starts to become like the logistics kind of kill the idea more than anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely get a lot of emails and stuff about it, and we'd love to do it, but it's going to have to be a special kind of situation where we can, you know, either fly down or it's close to drive, you know, because we're in Calgary in the middle of fucking nowhere. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm giving you my... What's that?
Can I say fuck? I guess.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can. I've said fuck 4 or 5 times since we've been talking, so yeah, you're good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this is internet radio. There's maybe like 3 or 4 kids listening, but I doubt it. I've actually got a beer in my hand too, so it's okay. But hey, how about?
That's kind of the main reason.
And you know what, dude? The States, they're trying to tax everybody for anything and everything. So what are you gonna do, right? Roll with the punches. It's sad.
Yeah.
Hang out with
You
the
know, I'm not
Pope,
saying it's
man.
not possible. It's just like I say, it's just kind of a special situation
Right.
where we'll have to come down over 3 or 4 days. That's about all we can do.
I'm going to make it my personal mission, Steve, and I'm putting this out there on the airwaves through the interweb. I'm getting Belvedere down to Florida somehow, some way, some shape, some form. We'll do a little tour around Florida, southeast deal, get you in, get you out, get you some sun.
Yeah.
Be good.
I like the sounds of that, man. I'm always down.
It'll be good. So how about we have Sean Dewey calling in at around, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes. How about that, dude? From Buck Wild to
I'm
Lagwagon
stoked,
back in
man.
the day.
I know. I'm so pumped.
He's
Maybe listening to the rest of the show when I'm done.
yeah, please do. Dude, that guy is such a nice dude. Such a nice
I'm not
dude.
surprised. Everybody I've met with from Lagwagon in the last couple of years, we've played some shows with them. They've been awesome. So no surprise.
He's killer. And it's weird, too, because he's, like, super tall. And then you've got the other guy, I don't know his name, from Lagwagon, and he's, like, makes Sean look kind of small. That dude's a monster. The guitar looks like a fiddle in his hand. What is that dude's name?
Chris Flipman. Yeah, it's funny. He's like, there's Joey, and now there's Joe playing bass, and then you got Flipman, who's like 2 feet taller than both of them. So yeah, it's good. Good mix.
It's extremes from one side to the other. So how fun was that Pennywise reunion? If you know that Pennywise reunion, we had Strung Out, Pulley, and Lagwagon there with Pennywise. That was kind of an experience.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I'll
That was
ever
great.
forget.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, you know, especially from a kid, you know, growing up on punk rock in the early 90s and stuff, watching all those old Epitaph vids, you know, it was pretty cool to go down. My wife and I went down and saw Pennywise, Pulley, Lagwagon, and Strung Out at the Palladium, and that was pretty awesome, man. I mean, we love all those bands, but like just to see it, you know, in that area, you know, growing up watching bands and videos from that area, it was pretty cool.
It's almost like one of those events, and the main reason I flew out was because it's one of those events that was almost trumped a Warp Tour from back in the like mid to late 90s. You know what I mean? Like it was to have that kind of those kind of bands of that level get together was like you can't miss that. You kidding me?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and you know it's funny. It was just like I don't think there was anybody there under 30, but it was cool.
This is true. Dude, how about that mosh
I'm
pit?
used to that though.
No, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, dude. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't know what the young kids these days are listening to, but you know, whatever. You know, techno or something. I don't know. It's cool. I like techno though. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, no, it was good because it was cool seeing all the guys in their 30s and 40s still, you know, giving her in the pit. Sure, they all paid for it the next day.
Dude, that pit, I was backed way off of it because I was already pretty lit at that time. And I went up on the balcony, but I was looking down, and I think the pit, from what I can remember seeing, was about 80 feet in diameter. And it wasn't really a knock you around pit. It was more like a black hole that was just spinning. You remember that thing?
Yeah, it was insane.
It was
like for those who those that didn't go to that show or didn't see pictures. I mean, there was probably like 3,500 people there just going ape shit. It was awesome.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Well, man, I think we're gonna get this interview probably on Dying Scene. We're doing some stuff with those guys. I don't know if you're familiar with them,
Cool.
but they pump a lot of punk rock, and I know they'd be really stoked to have a quick interview. We'll beep out the F-bombs we've been dropping before we send it over to them. But yeah, that'd be killer. Those guys are really doing a lot for punk rock too, promoting the shit out of it. And I recently Associated Press, or not Associated, Alternative Press. The guy said he's closing the doors. He's shutting that magazine down. So the Dying Scene, I guess, is kind of holding the torch. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dying Scene's in my feed. I read it all the time.
Yeah, it's on it. I read it daily. It just feeds me. All right, man. Well, brother, I don't want to hold up any more of your time. I really, really appreciate it. On an ending note, what do we see from Belvedere in the next couple of years, and where can we go see you guys play? And all the people that are listening from California to Florida, what do they need to do to come see Belvedere over the next, rest of 2013?
Well, I can tell you that there's probably going to be some somewhat consistent touring, if not just the occasional show in Canada. You'll probably see us in Europe, and whenever cool stuff happens elsewhere, we'll be down for. So just keep a watch, and we'll try and let everybody know when it's happening as it's happening.
All right, and I'll also let them know about the Florida mini tour coming up that we're going to throw down at an undisclosed time that we won't tell them yet.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna work on that right now.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're gonna hang up. My people are gonna talk to your people. We're gonna do this.
Oh yeah. So me and you are gonna talk.
Yep, exactly. That's basically what I mean. All right, brother. I really appreciate you calling in, man. Everybody is stoked. I hope you have a great day. Stay warm. Steve Rawles from
Thanks,
Belvedere. Guys, look them up. They're back and better than ever. Later, Steve.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. We'll see you later.
Bye.